All right, podcast in Arlington, episode 2. Let's get it started with some free agency news. Since the last time we met, Carlos Santana went to the Pirates. I think this move is kind of waving the white flag of I have no idea what we're doing. Or in this case, raising the Jolly Roger of I have no idea what we're doing. And
I don't mean to interject. Do we want to introduce ourselves first?
people might know who we are.
They should.
Certainly, yeah. After episode 1, if they're real fans, they listen to episode 1 and they know.
We got like 50 views on episode 1.
We've already got real fans.
And Carter, I don't know if you saw, but I put our names on all of our things too.
Yes, I did, and now we have personable identities. However, you would like to. I don't know how to say it.
I think we do.
You can put names to our voices, sure.
So to speak.
And then Mike Clevenger went to the White Sox, which is good, but that's not what they need to win a division. They need offense, obviously, losing Abreu just today. And then they also need defense because they had 2 tinfoil glove winners in left and right field.
Gavin Sheets.
Sheets, and what's the other guy's name? It starts with a C. I'm totally blanking here.
I think the biggest of the 3 that I believe all 4 of us are worried about is Carlos Santana. Or not Carlos Santana, Jose Abreu.
I was about to say Carlos Santana just left the AL West.
Yeah, no. Jose Abreu, because that's
Abreu
probably
to the Astros.
I should have looked this up before, but I saw a tweet about their projected 1 through 6 in the lineup. Yeah, it's probably the deadliest, and it had Jose Abreu at 6.
Yeah. What's also crazy about that is they still have money to spend.
What do they do with Gurriel and Mancini now?
Gurriel's old. Let Mancini go. I don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna move on from Gurriel for sure.
Wasn't Mancini already a free agent?
Was he a rental?
Yeah,
I think he was a rental. Yeah. So right here next to Jose Abreu to the Astros, in my notes, I just have in parentheses shit, because that's how I feel about that. Is the Astros got another good player, and they're just gonna rock us up downtown. Unless we can just ball out in free agency. Chris Young pulls some magic. Gosh,
if you want to put a anti-Astro spin on it, he turns 36 in January, and they signed him to 3 years for $20 million a year, which is it's not gonna not pan out for them. But I'm not really sure how I feel about them signing a first baseman who's a power hitter into his late 30s for $20 million a year. He just put up a 137 WRC plus. He's still a very good first baseman, probably one of the top, I don't know, 3 or 5 in the American League at least. But I don't know. It's a good move for them, and it's definitely an upgrade from Gurriel. But there's a very real chance that 38, 39-year-old Jose Abreu is not he had a great year in 2014 and 2020, and those are his highlight years. I think
2019 he had 123 RBIs. That's crazy.
That's true. Yeah, he did. 2019 was also good for him. I mean, he's had a good career. He's been solid.
What they're getting him for is just definitely RBIs. It's just definitely just driving people in. That's it.
Exactly.
Was 19 his MVP year?
He was an all-star. 20 was it doesn't say anything next to his name.
Who's younger, Gurriel or Abreu? Is it Abreu?
Abreu, yeah.
Abreu.
So you could argue that they're basically just getting a younger version of Gurriel with a little bit more power.
Yeah. More or less, yes.
I can say it. And it's a good
trade.
It's good.
They're basically just going back a few years to when Gurriel was his age and getting a little extra power.
Exactly.
Pretty much. All right. That topic's over with. Next topic. Bruce Bochy. Oh my gosh. So Bochy, for those who don't know, was the Padres manager from 95 to 06. He went 951 and 975. So just under 500. He's the manager of the year in 96. Went to the postseason 4 times, never won a World Series. And what I kind of noticed is wasn't really his fault that he lost a bunch. Front office would not help him with that. Wouldn't really
Yeah.
spend a
That's
lot of
where
money.
That's where the Chris Young tie came from.
Exactly. What year did they play together in 2004?
6.
Oh, so
It
it
was
was his
in
last
the-
year there.
It
Yeah.
was Bochy's
around-
last year. Yeah.
And then he was with the Giants from 07 to 2019. He went 1,052, which is crazy. Even think about playing 1,000 games and winning 1,000 games. And then 1,052 and 1,074. 3 World Series,
so he's
one
still
that
below
we are
500.
familiar with, that we just really had no shot in, but not
Smothered.
really even close.
Smothered.
7 winning seasons out of 12, and I mean, I'm here for it. The last 3 years he was there weren't very good in San Francisco, but again, he didn't really have a product to put on the field. But what it seemed to me was the reason why those teams brought Bochy in right before he got there was to just pop them over the 500 line and pop them into the postseason and make a postseason run. And so in our case, it's a perfect situation. The Rangers got to 500 one time. We were 500 for one day. I remember that day. It was awesome.
Wasn't
Twitter
it the
was
Kansas
on
City
fire.
series?
I think so. It was in late May, I'm pretty sure. But we were 500 for one day. It was awesome. Yeah, we went
That was a
here and then we
great
lost
day.
3 straight, one, and then lost another 3 straight. It was like a roller coaster of emotion that week.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So I've-
what do y'all think?
That's what it. I mean, just going back to that real quick. I remember it because we got back to 500 in Kansas City and then got swept by what we thought was a bad Baltimore team.
Yeah, what we thought.
Well, we
Thanks,
went.
thanks
we,
for
Uh,
Odor.
That was that the series where we lost? I think we had like 2 back-to-back nine inning leads. No,
Yeah.
there was the game. It was one of the games where Lowe hit like a 3-run bomb to tie it in the 8th, and then
Yeah.
we blew it. Yeah, that was like the game where I think that was the turning point. If we couldn't ride the momentum of Nathaniel Lowe's bat.
Yeah, that's where Barlow lost his closer job too.
Yeah.
That is where Barlow lost his closure job.
and then it was
I
just a
remember
revolving.
posting
It was just a revolving door since then.
And
That's
then,
right.
then we
But
got
yeah, in
Leclerc
term-
back. He sucked.
Them bringing in Bochy, you don't accidentally win 3 World Series. It shows that Chris Young is not here to mess around and just get another placeholder like Woody was. And Bochy wouldn't have came here if he didn't think that he could do something with the product that's already here, plus what we hope to get in the next 2 months.
Sure.
Whether it be Rodon, DeGrom, I've heard Verlander's name.
That's yeah.
Conforto or something.
That's
He's less
definitely-
of like
you
a-
got it, Carter. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just gonna say like he's less of a hire to like the Rangers didn't bring him in to win 100 games every year. The Rangers brought him in to maximize the potential with what they have. If you put Bruce Bochy on the bench for this year's team, I genuinely believe we make a wild card spot. I think he's one of the best utilizers of talent in baseball. And kind of like one of the main talking points through this whole coaching carousel has been that teams are starting to kind of go back towards some of these older guys who have proven that they can, at least win in the regular season. Like Dusty Baker was a guy who could never win in the playoffs, but he's still like a really smart baseball mind and someone you want on your bench. So I think kind of with the Bochy hiring, like a lot of fans kind of look at the record and like, he's overall like, I think he's got like a 497, 495, something like that win-loss percentage for his career. He's under 500. So like,
Yeah, just barely.
I've seen some fans be kind of turned off by that and just maybe thinking that like those 3, like you said, those 3 World Series were like fluke runs, but they weren't. Like he's one of the best brains in terms of like pitching management. He knows how to like effectively run through his bullpen without overusing guys. There was that one week this year where Chris Woodward like kept going to Dennis Santana over and over again. It just
Oh my
derailed
God.
his
Yeah,
entire
in, like,
season.
early
I was about to
August,
say, Chris
whenever it
Woodward.
was.
Yeah, ruined his tenure here. Like Bochy's
It
gonna
was
bring.
July, because like I want to say I saw a month by month breakdown on I think
Santana.
Kenny Landry tweeted or something. It was like from April through June, everything was sub 2.5, and then it blew up to a 15 in July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just stuck with him, and it's like like what you get in Bochy is better player management. Like a lot of, and I know from like talking to general fans, just like losing the last couple of years and having no real like public interest in the team while they've just been terrible, that goes away with Bochy. Like people are going to start caring about this team again just because of what he brings in terms of like player repertoire and maximizing potential. And we're not going to have any more of like the Fernando Tatis hitting back to back 800-foot grand slams off of us. We're not going to have any more of like the what was it Woodward said about the Yankees porch, the kids stadium. I don't know.
Little
Yeah.
League field.
Baber's
And
home run with a pop
It's
up.
like it's a little league field that would have gone
Yeah,
around in one
and
stadium.
I'm not trying to dog on Woodward. Like he was a good guy, and I don't have complete disdain for him as a manager. But just like if you're talking about just like general competition and relevance in the landscape of baseball, I think kind of everybody's feeling from the start was that this is one of the best guys we could have hired, and I think there is a very safe guarantee that this team will not be a 65 win doormat, boring, depressing baseball club for the next couple of years. So
yes.
Oh, this is gonna be a weird, because like, well, I mean, last season is what it is, 68 wins, but they weren't boring to watch because they lost.
They weren't because they blew
34
so many
one-run
games. They blew so many of them. We should have.
Yeah.
But
There's a crap ton of one-run games.
But
But
no-
I think to kind of like add on to that, like it's gonna sound harsh, but I think Bochy is like the complete opposite of Woodward, right? Because of all that talent. And like Woodward was a good hire at the time. Just honestly, he wasn't really kind of supposed to really succeed with what he was given, right? And that's why we gave him, a few extra years. We gave him that extension, like last year or the year before, because he wasn't really expected to kind of like be outstanding. But like what probably lost him was the mismanagement of the bullpen. Bochy's not gonna do that. Bochy's not gonna mismanage the team. He's not gonna lose the clubhouse, right?
Correct.
Everyone respects him, and everyone wants to play for this guy. That's probably why, like, because Cedar came and he knew Woodward. That was the connection. That's why Cedar's probably not upset at all to lose Woodward, right? Because he got Bochy, right? Everyone wants to play for Bochy. I think it was the best hire. Like it was the top guy for it, and we got him. And that's a huge credit to Chris Young too, because like he sold him on the vision, just like he sold Al Leiter and Jack Leiter on the vision to sign with us, right? So I think Bochy's the best hire. It was really the number one choice, and you got him. And now I think the team just goes up from here, right? There's no way that you can really have a bad year with the roster you even have now, and then you add more people. There's no way you could be unsuccessful with Bochy.
Yeah.
Well,
I wanted to add one more thing really quick. I just wanted to say too that he brings so much like personality back to whatever team he's on. Like his Giants club and the players connecting with the city of San Francisco for like the decade, 12 years he was there. It's undeniable. And he had the same thing in San Diego. Like he is such a personable and welcoming individual. And I think like a lot of people's fond memories of like the Washington era Rangers, Ron Washington, not the Senators, the Ron Washington era Rangers is that, like we had personality. There was like an energy and a life kind of vibrating around the team where like even people who didn't really care about baseball in the Metroplex still knew how the Rangers were doing. And obviously like winning helps, but when you have guys on your team with personality, and your team is not just constructed of, a bunch of, for lack of a better term, crap thrown at a wall, which it kind of has been for the last couple of years, and some of it has stuck and worked, but for the most part, there's just been a lot of swings and misses, literally. And I think like bringing a guy like Bochy here, you just instill some sort of like just life back into this franchise, where like now people will start to care. Like people know who Bruce Bochy is. People know that he establishes like good relationships like among his players and through the communities he works with. And he's not just like, when Woodward came here, nobody really knew who he was. So you have like an established repertoire there that I think cannot go unspoken for.
Well, Chris Young then goes and doubles down to get Mike Maddox, and then triples down to get Dayton Moore in there.
That's right.
And yeah. I love the Mike Maddox hire. That is probably,
I think there's just more incentive for pitchers. Like that's what I love about it. Is like people want to play for Bochy, like Carter's saying. People want to pitch for Mike Maddox.
Yeah, everything in our franchise went to shit when he left. He left in 15.
I know. Like I was looking at it, I was like, he left in 15, and then like we went to the postseason in 16, and then we haven't sniffed success since that.
We had 362 team RA in 2013. 362.
That's really good. That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, he was there for the window from 2009 to 15. Like that's when the success was, and I don't think it's coincidence that it correlates with him and him being there.
This was like very. I mean, the Diamondbacks are pretty bad, right? But that was the equivalent to like last year when the Diamondbacks went out and got Strahm as their pitching coach.
Yeah,
like that was the best guy available. That's what Texas did. Was like, this is the best guy available, right?
Yeah, look what Strahm did with Zach Gallen.
Look what Strahm did with really the top
even their
three
bullpen
of that order.
If you go and look at their bullpen,
let's not talk about Mark Melanson. He stops.
Well, yeah, dude, he's like a million years old, man. Of course.
Yeah. But like even their top three, like Gallen, what's his name, Merrill Kelly, and like I think there were like other top three who were like insanely good. Don't even get into Mad Bum.
Here, I'll get into another one, Dallas Keuchel.
Oh, hey, he's a Ranger legend. I don't.
He is a Ranger legend. Right. That is another Monday legend, right?
We're gonna have another Monday Ranger.
What did his career with us last? Was it 7? Or was it 5 innings over 2 starts?
2 starts.
It was 2 starts, yeah.
Like
he had like a
7-something
ERA. Yeah, he had like a terrible ERA too.
When we signed him, I was like, this is either the greatest signing in the world, or he is not going to last 2 games.
No.
And he lasted 2 games.
Yeah.
And he went out there and Dallas Keucheled.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, last thing on the manager topic. Hold on.
Why are we getting up?
At what point do you think Corey Seager was just at shortstop and just went, what in the fuck is going on?
July.
He probably thought about it after the first 2 months of the year.
You know, he always has this so stale face on, and he's playing.
He's always
hates
been like
the game. I think he was just like, I think he actually realized like, man, this sucks in like July.
Well, I mean,
the most energy I've seen from this guy, not even in a Texas uniform, but in overall, was probably 2020 World Series, the Dodgers. This guy is like,
he's just stoic.
A little more.
He's
a little more personable version of like Zach Greinke, right? Doesn't really smile that much. He's kind of just like vibing, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't need to show.
He doesn't need to be flashy. He's just gonna drop the most home runs by a left-handed shortstop ever, and just
my issue with like kind of going back to what Carter said about the personality is like Corey Seager, obviously, like he's not really like a personality guy, but there is a lot of personality on this team.
Yeah.
Right. And you didn't see it last year, even whenever they were like early in the year, right? It still looked like they did not want to be there.
Like, yes,
right?
Everybody hates to play for the Rangers.
Like, and they're like, oh, this another year. And I guarantee you that's because they felt like they were going to do better this year, but they didn't have the pieces to be so much better that they are and automatically knew it's like, this is going to be another bad year.
Well, another part of it is like, besides Seager and Simeon a little bit with Toronto, I guess you could say, who on this team has been on a winner? I mean, it's Seager. I mean,
Corey Seager.
Was Perez on the 18 Red Sox?
was he?
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's not a world champion, is he?
There,
He's
I'll
present.
find it.
Let me
Yeah,
look
he
it up.
is. Because it
Nope.
was him and
No,
it
no,
was-
he was here. He was here in 2018. No,
Yeah,
he was here.
No.
here in 2018.
Oh, was that Mitch
Yeah.
Moreland then? Was
Yeah,
the
he's just Mitch and
Mitch and Ian Kinsler. And
Kinsler.
Ian Kinsler
That's
almost
right.
blew it.
That's right.
Ian
Yeah.
Kinsler almost 2015 Rangered them to death.
No.
Let's see.
Oh man.
I am very glad we got him back though. Perez was huge
Perez
this year.
Yeah.
has never
Did we
had
talk about this last time?
below
No.
a 4 ERA except for 2 seasons, 2013 and 2022.
I mean, Perez is the reason we didn't win only 50 games last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
If Perez
By the
would have
way-
been here, that would have been just terrible.
I don't want to throw things off, but we should discuss him coming back. If we
I
didn't
think it
last
was the
time.
best thing. I think it was the best.
I'm all for it, dude.
well,
I love it.
yeah.
I love that guy.
I think if we rejected the qualifying offer, he wouldn't be back though. Because there's no way Texas would have given him more than what the qualifying offer was.
no, yeah, I mean, he got
He got
19.65.
19 mil. I mean,
You're not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not going to get 20 plus mil on the market, I don't think. Right. And
No,
he
he
realized
wouldn't.
that. Obviously, that's why he took the Q out. Right.
he's
On the
only
market, he probably
31.
would have been 3 years, 24, maybe getting 8 a year.
I'd say a
Yeah.
little higher.
Yeah,
I'd say,
yeah.
I'd say 330, 331 maybe. But I agree.
It's a good
for the
prove
most
it
part.
deal. Like, I don't want to, like, for lack of a better term, like, he just had the best year of his career. He's 31 years old. Like, he wants to be here. So
That's
they
an important
paid him
part.
exactly, like, they paid him a fat 20. Like, the worst case scenario for him is he gets 20 million to suck, and then that's it. Like, he still walks out with $20 million. Like,
Exactly.
but something clearly worked this year, and like it wasn't fraudulent. Like, he was dominant from April to September. Like,
Yeah, he was.
he never cooled off. It wasn't back and forth. Like, he was very, very good this season. So I'm not like, I don't know. People seem to be concerned that we gave him 20 million, but it's like, it's 1 year. Like,
And then-
who cares?
this-
And then he has Mike Maddox.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like,
Which, when he was here with Mike Maddox, he was. I mean, he doesn't have much of a sample size with him, but we got
Yeah, not much.
the sub 4, and he's also. I mean, was here 22, 23, 24 years old.
His win-loss was a lot better with Mike Maddox than the rest of his
Well,
career.
that's because of
the
Hamilton,
team was better.
Kinsler, and Young.
Yeah,
and
Hey, man,
The team was better.
a lot of
Yeah.
help.
And then
on the
just
offense.
saying, man.
And then that 15 team, 16 team was like lucky as fuck. All the 1-run games.
Yeah.
He was a
Um,
reliever for Boston
They had
last
some
year.
good teams.
He had 14 relief appearances.
Mm. Like,
Yeah.
think about it this way: if we didn't have him last year, like, let's say the Rangers would go however, I don't know, 68 wins, whatever he ended with. Say we win 68 games without Martin Perez, and then we sign a 136 ERA plus Martin Perez to a 1-year deal, and we're going to extend him. Like, he's going to be here past 2023 as long as he's good. So, you know, you bring in like a 136 ERA plus pitcher, you pay him what he wants. Like, it's not a bad signing in any way. And I've seen some people like overreact to like the 20 million, but you know, like I said, it's 1 year and you get a 136 ERA plus pitcher. So he's an all-star. Bring him back.
Martin Perez
I'm-
debuted June 27th, 2012, pitched 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 1 walk, 4 earned runs.
I've
Nice.
got a question. I've got a question for everyone in here.
So
Take out DeGrom and Rodon because those are obvious. Like, we all would want to grab them, right? Who would be your kind of like outlier pitcher that would be like, all right, let's go, let's grab him
as a free
Taijuan
agent, or
Walker.
are you,
as a free agent, or really like just kind of free agent. Let's go with free agency right now.
I got
I'd say
3.
Evaldi.
Yeah, Taijuan Walker, Kyle Gibson, Nathan Evaldi. Those are my 3
Okay,
like underrated pitchers.
Those are-
I have
that's
like the
okay.
top starting pitching, like Rodon, DeGrom, Verlander are like the top
Yeah.
3. Taijuan Walker, Kyle Gibson, Nathan Evaldi. I think Gibson can come back in a starter role and just boot Dane Dunning out of a spot. I just don't think Dane Dunning is
No.
going to be on our World Series roster. Sorry, Dane Dunning. But, dude, he can come in relief role. I don't care.
Kyle Gibson needs innings too, which is what we need desperately.
Yes, he's good at doing that. Wasn't he an all-star here? And then we traded him to Philly? Yep. And then we got Spencer Howard. Just take Spencer Howard's spot on the 40-man.
Is he even on the 40?
I was going to say, I don't even know if he's on the 40-man right now.
Spencer Howard is on our 40-man, yes. All right, never mind, Dane Dunning. I apologize. Take Spencer Howard's spot.
I think Dane Dunning still has a pretty good amount of potential. Like, especially with Mike Maddox, who knows what he can switch with him. He did. Like he had places of like really good pitching last year.
He had a lot of
I got three. I've got three. Gibson is one of them, and Chris Bassett, and then this third one's going to be very controversial, probably, but Dylan Bundy.
I don't mind those. I don't mind those at all.
Dylan Bundy is the guy, like inning guy, kind of very equivalent to like Kyle Gibson, right? Like
for sure,
I mean, he's probably not going to be 2021 Martin Perez, but like that's his situation, right? He's coming in and he needs to have that year if like he wants to have like more of a future, right? Playing. So
he just gives up a lot of home runs. That's what worries me.
Especially, I mean, like when we're playing the Astros, that is something to worry about.
I think Bundy would serve if we hadn't acquired Odorizzi, maybe as a good Odorizzi spot. I don't hate having him on a roster, but his ERA the last couple of years has been really, really bad. He was good in the COVID season with the Angels, but that's like the only sample size we've had. Like he was like abstractly dominant from the rest of his career. I think his career ERA is like 462 off the top of my head. So this says something crazy, like 460, 470. And then in 2020, he had like a 250 ERA and just like, I think he, how many strikeouts did he have? I'm gonna look that up. I don't know, but yeah, he just gives up way too many home runs.
Are we talking about Dylan Bundy still?
Yes, Dylan Bundy.
Bundy has a career ERA of 4.74.
Yeah, that's brutal.
He also played in the short porch of Camden Yards for a lot of his career.
That's true.
Which counts.
But, I think Globe Life Field might be a little more friendly for him, though.
True.
I mean, his whip's never been bad. Like, it's never been just egregious.
I don't think they'll grab him because they do have the Odorizzi, but it's a potential spot.
I think the funniest thing that's happened so far this offseason is Rangers and Braves Twitter going back and forth about who didn't want the other one more. They were like, "Oh, y'all don't know, Odorizzi sucks. Y'all are in for a treat." We're like, "Oh, well, wait till we tell you about Colby Allard."
They're like, "No, we had him. He wasn't that bad."
They still see him as the prospect that they.
He's a great high A pitcher,
right? And then I just point him to that like July 12th, 13th, or what it was, like the two back-to-back games stretch where he gave up like 8 runs in both games, and for some reason Chris Woodward still put him out there.
Well, the best was when Judge is trying to get 62 before he hit it off Tinoco, and Colby Allard's warming up.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was like, "Oh, y'all are gonna hit it." All right, so we're out on Bundy. We don't like Bundy.
No. Okay.
I think the next topic is definitely position players, specifically outfield, and then under that, who's on the trading block for us?
Brandon Nimmo.
So my top position players to get right now are Brandon Nimmo, Benintendi, Aaron Judge. Top 3.
Judge ain't happy.
You're not getting Judge. Just shut that one down immediately.
Okay. Those on the market, those are my top 3. And then kind of who else falls in the subcategory is Mitch Haniger, who kills us every time.
That's a good one.
Well, remember last Ranger killer Chris Davis we brought in?
That's true. Anyway, Michael Conforto, who is unsigned still from 2021.
Well, he had shoulder surgery, so he was out anyway last year.
Is that what?
Mhm.
It was a
know he had
mix.
surgery.
It was a mix of his injury and whoever signed him had to give up a draft pick.
Yeah.
Never mind.
His shoulder injury wasn't made known until like a month or so into the season. So
Oh,
But
well,
I want
for this year.
Cody Bellinger.
And
I
then
want the
Cody
Rangers to
Bellinger.
be this toxic ex-girlfriend that says, "Oh, bring him to me. I can fix him."
I can fix him, I promise.
Because
Well-
I mean, his run from 2017 up until they won the World Series and then it just fell off a cliff was, I mean, he was a top 3 player in baseball.
We got rid of Calhoun, so there is an outfield spot open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brad Miller's still in the outfield, by the way, guys.
Why is he here?
He's on the 40 man because we signed him for 2 years, 10 million, didn't we?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I thought he was on a player option.
No, that
Why
was
would you-
Calhoun.
That was
Calhoun was on a
Pretty
club
sure
option or
we-
something like
Calhoun
that.
was on a
Pretty
club
sure
option.
declined club option, yeah.
But why do you sign
But
a guy like Brad Miller and not do a club option? Like,
I don't know.
I don't.
He had a negative 1.6 WAR this year. If Chris
Oh.
Young does not move him, we bully Brad Miller, but he was
That's so
legitimately
bad.
just terrible this year.
What was
Like-
awesome was I posted on Twitter when we
Oh,
signed
God.
him. I posted on Twitter steal the offseason, and then literally it's like
Lead off.
4 bombs in spring
Yeah,
training,
so-
and then the first batter of the 2022 season it's a leadoff bomb, and
Yeah.
I was so happy. I was like,
Yep.
I told all you guys, and then he just hit 180 the rest of
I had the exact same response, my man, because he hit 20 home runs with the Phillies.
dude.
I mean, he turned out to be the steal of the offseason. He just stole 10 million from
Stole
Texas.
$10 million from
That's really what it was.
I mean, I just don't understand how. Like, just there's some guys like that. Like, remember, wasn't Cole Calhoun like American League Player of the Month in May?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
was disgusting.
Yeah, he
in
was.
May. He was so good.
Yeah,
And
he had
then
a
just
good.
it just disappears. Like the only guys we saw consistency from all year was once they hit their stride, Seager Simeon, Nathaniel Lowe, and other than that, it's not really much. I mean,
I'd say-
Garver struggled before he got hurt.
I'd say Leote wasn't bad.
Leote got bad towards the end. The last month of the season, Leote was maybe a sub 200 hitter.
It's not good.
And then, I mean, Josh Young, we didn't get enough of a sample size of him. But it's just the type of hitter he is. But Odolis was up and down. Jonah Heim was up and down. And,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to get your offense going when,
Jonas.
like,
still,
you're looking at your
Jonas-
bench and your options are, oh, do we want to put Maybreeze Valoria behind the plate today because Jonah needs a break?
Yeah, are we gonna put Eli White in center field because Leote's struggling?
Yeah, I mean, it's stuff like that, and you're in a crapshoot because you are playing these 35-year-old Cole Calhoun and Brad Millers over your Zeke Duran, your Josh Smith, Leote, Bubba Thompson until he finally got there towards the end of the year. And it's just like, we're obviously not going to compete this year. Why are we trying to prolong these guys' career rather than seeing what we got? And because, I mean, our position
I
player
don't even know.
group is crowded.
It
Yeah.
is, and that's my next point. Is we have 9 infielders on our 40 man.
Trades are coming.
I know they are,
And
and,
you s- and
I
you s-
think
and you
CY's
have a-
waiting until the winter meetings.
It's going to
and you have
be,
yeah.
I think the first 3 gone are going to be Foscue, Acuna, and Maximo.
Why do you say it like that?
Probably.
Why do you say it like Acuna?
Acuna.
It's
Acuna
Acuna.
Matata.
It's
You'll
Acuna.
never be as good as Acuna.
You'll never be as
It's-
good as Acuna. It's Acuna.
Ac-
Yeah.
Acuna
I got-
Matata, the guy.
I got Ornelas on that board too of leaving because he was pretty good last year.
I'm just thinking of like who's
Just the
off would be
first
the highest
guys
right
off.
now.
That's
And so if you go to, so I've seen everyone's like, oh, go to Miami, go get Pablo Lopez, give him El Bombi. Well, now we have a massive hole in our lineup.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
We-
that really.
yeah.
That
I don't know about
accomplishes
you
nothing.
guys. I do not want to give up Adolis Garcia at all.
No,
No.
I don't,
We are
I don't
paying
either. He
him
plays
pennies.
great defense.
he's a 25-25 guy. We're paying him pennies.
Yeah.
True. We're not
Yeah,
paying
I'd
him
put-
nothing.
I'd
That's-
love to have I'd love to have a Dolly's and then in right and then one of the bigger guys at center. I wouldn't even mind having Bellinger at center. Like if his defense is still there, just his like offense obviously has been terrible.
What do you think about a Benintendi signing and left, and then if we still can't find like a solid center fielder, going and trading for someone and holding on to a good
Who do we
3 or
tra-
4 prospects?
Who would
See, that's
we
the thing.
hypothetically trade for?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Brian Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is a good one.
That's going to
Pirates
take
aren't
a
going anywhere.
lot.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of elite players on teams that are nowhere near
They're
competing.
Garbage.
And Pittsburgh is
still
5 or
think
6
he's
years
gonna
away.
I still think he's going to take a lot.
Well, when is
I
he
think
free?
they're going to.
I mean, I don't think he's going to take a crazy amount because who do the Pirates have in their system? They have Henry Davis. They have.
Aren't they one of the better systems?
Brian Reynolds is 27. Switch hitter hitting 27 bombs.
As a 27-year-old too. He's he's not old. He's right in the middle of his career. Look, we have Henry Davis, Tamar Johnson, who didn't he just get drafted this year? Quinn Priester, Leovera Peguero, Nick Gonzalez. I mean, these are good guys. But then you get down into your 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and some of these guys I've never heard of.
Yeah.
I mean, Hunter Barco's down here, and that's just because he went to Florida. That's the only reason I know him. But, I mean, that system could use some help. And a lot of these are pitchers, too, and they don't have a lot of position players as of right now.
See, the thing that gives me hope about like all this and like how CY runs his operation is, I remember last year, so we go out and grab Simeon first, and we're like, oh my God, that came out of nowhere. Like, I mean, we were just in talks, but we didn't think this could actually happen. Then a week later, rattles off Seager. Was it Seager first?
It's Simeon first. It was Simeon first, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then Seager, and we're just like, I mean, he moves in silence, and there's no buildup of like DeGrom is the most connected free agent I've ever heard to the Rangers since CY has been here. I mean, it's like it's us and
Rodon's getting some traction a lot.
November
more and more.
November 28th, 2021, a year ago, was the Simeon. Literally today.
A year ago today.
A year ago today was Simeon and John Gray.
Happy anniversary of us getting 5 more wins.
That's right.
Yeah.
By the way,
but that was rushed by the lockout, though. By the way, that was all pre-lockout stuff.
I would just like to throw out, I don't feel like John Gray got his flowers this year. I know he had some health issues. He was really good when he pitched.
He was very good.
He had a 1.131 whip, 130 strikeouts in 127 innings, sub 4 ERA. Like, he's a good 3 or 4 piece in the rotation. People I feel like people so hyped up on Martin that they just forgot that John Gray had like an okay year.
And you can argue that like those numbers could have been better because those starts were in between injuries. So even when he was starting, he was probably dealing with injuries.
Yep.
Right. He wasn't fully healthy even when he was pitching. So you could argue that would have been he could have had a better year.
When he was out, that's when we went to shit.
That was his best whip.
After Martin, we had no one.
Best whip of his career this year. Best strikeout to walk ratio of the last, I think. Best strikeout walk since 2018. Yeah.
How are his home run numbers compared to recent years?
But they're way down.
Yeah, let's see. Compared to his like innings pitched, he did pitch fewer innings. He gave up 17 home runs this year, which is not like great, but
what was his like fewest? Obviously full season, but like
fewest in a full season looks like about 2016. He gave up 18 home runs in 168 innings. So
I mean, that's also in Colorado.
Yeah.
So he probably would have given up more if he had a full season, but I don't think he would have given up like his max.
Right. And even if so, like if you have a 1.131 whip coming out of like your 3 or 4 piece guy, like that's good enough to get us to the playoffs.
Yeah, you got another 3 years like guaranteed from him too, like in terms of like his contract.
Yeah, he's not making too much. I think he's like what 13 mil, 14 mil, something like that. He's pretty affordable. So
let's look at what it was.
I don't know. I didn't mean to like sideswipe that conversation. I was just
and
It was
I
4-year
was
50.
gonna
It
say,
was 4-year
off-
56.
Off of that, I would say we're getting our best bullpen on back in Brock Berg.
Yeah. True.
I mean,
Love that guy. Love that guy.
yes, they're coming off Tommy John, but Leclerc and Hernandez scared me this year. Like they were
I don't
very
feel like
shaky against some very bad teams like Oakland. The
Crappy
Sean Murphy
series.
game.
I
Yeah.
still attribute that to Tommy John. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Right? Because the further the year got along, their fastball kicked up.
Yeah.
Right. So they're gonna I don't mind them having a terrible year and a down year. Or not a terrible year, but a down year and a terrible season a year off of Tommy John. I don't mind that. I still have a lot of faith in them. This year will probably be the year where I'm like, all right, if they have another terrible year, then I might be a little freaked out. But
yeah, and I think that'll just be a sign early in the season. Like I think that'll be if we're still struggling at the end of May, then it's like, all right, you're losing games for us now. Now it's time to switch you to maybe a 7th inning guy and let somebody else take over the 9th. I don't want to say the end of May is too early or too late, like just give up hope because of obviously Semien. I mean, he was hitting $180 through the middle of June, and then just one day in Cleveland hit 4 home runs or 3 home runs or whatever. And then he was like, all right, I am good at this hitting thing. I can do this pretty good.
So as far as the bullpen,
went crazy.
to think he had 20 plus.
Aroldis Chapman's a free agent.
Shut up. Stop talking to me.
No.
If Andrew Cashman came up to me and I was Chris Young and he was like, hey, Aroldis Chapman, man, like a lot of potential there, I would slap him in the face. Not like a hard one. I just go like, hey,
wake up.
What are you talking about, my man? Are you talking real words to me right now?
Then who's reliever that would be top?
Yeah,
I thought we were going to sign Edwin Diaz. I was kind of thinking, I was like, ooh, that could be good. But then the Mets signed him like after 3 hours of free agency. So
I got the guy. Zach Eflin.
Yeah, I like Zach Eflin. I think anybody from the Yankees bullpen.
I think Zach Eflin goes back to Philly, but it would be nice to get Eflin.
Michael King be a good one. What's that one guy's name from the Mariners? We're not getting him. No, he throws like sidearm, kind of. He's not like a straight sidearmer. He like kind of just delivers from sidearm. God, what's his name?
It's not Paul Sewald, is it?
No, it's shoot. Now it's gonna bother me. I'll look it up. Hold on.
It's not.
He was like not a big
if only my roommate was home, he'd probably know. He's a Mariners fan.
Sheffield, Murphy, Munoz. No. What was this guy's name? Did they drop him off? Oh, Matt Festa. That dude was
Festa.
Gross.
He a free agent?
No, but hey, you want
Seattle's not sending us anything
valuable. Yeah, we're not.
I know they're not, but dude, that dude was gross. Marco Gonzalez, he's a starter, but
hey, if you just want to make your blood boil of just this would probably be, it would never happen, but it'd be hilarious. But let's reunite the old gang and we got Mike Minor, Drew Smiley, and Jordan Lyles as free agents.
I saw all those guys, and
oh Lord,
I just kind of looked at it and I was like, that's just it's not going to happen, Blue.
Let's go into the year with our 5 starters being DeGrom or Rodon, whichever one. Martin Perez, Kyle Gibson, John Gray, and let's add
I want Glenn
let's add Mike Minor to the mix.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Actually, I think they would all have to show their AARP card before walking in the stadium. At that point, dude, I do think Glenn Otto has the potential to be good. I'm on board with you there, Dalen. His stuff is gross. I'm talking nasty, bro. The only thing I just I hated watching him pitch though, because he throws it in one place, and that
Yep.
is right down the dick.
I will say when he's on, but when he's
Yes.
off,
But
oh
when
my
he's
God,
off, it's just
it is
shoo, shoo, shoo,
batting
shoo.
practice.
It's gross because his slider, you can tell like he's thrown the same. I feel like he's thrown the same slider for his life, and you just started at the head, ends right in the middle, and like that's all he's had to do because it's just so gross. And then he just kind of got to the bigs, and then it's ball 2-0 slider right down the middle, and people are like, "Oh, need a shirt for that hanger? Send it over the freaking fence." I mean,
He would be
yeah.
perfectly fine as a fifth starter in 23. Like if we
I do
move
agree
him
with
to the
that.
fifth,
Yeah, I do
like
agree with
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But then you have Cole Winn, who's on the roster as well right now. Owen
Or
White,
Reagan's.
Reagan's is on the 40 man. These are all 40 man names. I don't here. Let me switch over to our active.
So another
roster.
signing, it'd be boring, but he'd be a back end rotation guy. I mean, you have Ross Stripling out there.
Is Jake Odorizzi going to be a starter?
No.
I don't think he makes the team.
I don't. Well,
I think it was
No.
a dump of Allard. Just two. It was two franchises trying to get rid of this guy and saying, "What do you got?"
oh, dude, give me Josh Spores in the fifth starting spot. How about that?
God.
I
Oh
want
no.
Josh Spores.
I want him on the
Bummer.
fifth seat of the
Ricky-
first train out of
Ricky
here.
Vanasco is on the active 26.
Is that
Oh,
that
wait, no, this
professional
is the
gum
active
chewer?
40
Is that
man.
professional gum chewer, Josh Spores? Is that who we're talking
I
about?
don't even know.
Have you seen that?
No.
No, you've never seen that. I don't know if it's one person that I interact with on Twitter, but he always calls him like professional gum chewer, Josh Spores. I don't know where it came from, but like
Okay, here's our starting rotation right now on the depth chart on MLB.com. John Gray, Jake Odorizzi, I don't think he makes it. Martin Perez, Dane Dunning, Cole Reagans, Glenn Otto.
I don't like that. I mean, if you have Odorizzi, like at most in a long relief spot, kind of like what Taylor Hearn kind of was used as this year, just hey, this game's already a wash. It's 6-0 after 2. Go out there, get us some innings, and just eat them.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at him to be out there going competitive, sub-4 ERA, something we can actually count on, I don't think you're going to get it because he hasn't been that since, 2015 with Minnesota?
Where do you think Mark Mathias ends up this year? Like, not team, but like where on our team? Like, what's his role to you?
The trade block.
I was kind of thinking the same thing, actually.
I mean, he was good last year for the last month. He was up, but I mean, there's just no room for him. I mean,
it's a bad time to come to the Rangers as a position player, especially an infielder, not an outfielder. Outfielder, it's you can literally just go walk out, stick a name tag on your shirt that says "I play left field," and you can play left field.
Yeah,
but everybody else, it's kind of a tough spot.
Occasionally, you'll be put at DH.
Mark Mathias ended the year. This is only 80 at bats. He ended the year with a 132 OPS plus.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I know it's a really small sample size, but that's not bad. I don't.
No.
I will eat my
80.
crow.
I mean, 80 at bats is 80 at bats. Like that's
yeah.
I will eat my crow on Mark Mathias because when we signed him, I was not about it. I was like, why are we doing this?
It was you and one other guy that texted me and was like, we just traded Matt Bush, one of our best relievers, for this guy? For Mark Mathias?
Antoine Kelly. I loved Antoine Kelly, us getting him. I think he's going to be really good in a few years.
Hope he survives Rule 5.
Yeah.
That's right. He's not protected.
Uh-oh.
But, I mean, Antoine Kelly's definitely not major league ready. And so if you take him, no one's going to throw him on their 26 for the entire year.
I think that's why we also just didn't trade him before the Rule of 5 is because he's not major league ready. And everyone's like, why don't you want him?
Yeah, I would say we protected every one of our –
We protected the guys we needed to protect. We're good. All right, last topic. We got the All-Star Game 2024. Yay! Woo!
Yay.
It's been 30 years, Texas.
Were any of us alive
No.
last time?
Nope.
I don't think so.
1994, baby.
That's right.
Yeah,
1994. If you were at
essentially dead.
If you were at the last game, just please leave a comment on this video saying what your favorite moment was, because I bet it was watching notable Texas All-Stars Will Clark, what a dog, and Pudge Rodriguez play in the 94 All-Star game. Those were our only two All-Stars from that year.
Was it 94, 95?
90.
It was
94. It was
yeah.
94. Yeah.
Was
It was
it?
the
Am
year.
I,
It
am I
was.
wrong?
It was the.
I think
It
it's
was the year.
95.
It was the year the stadium opened. I thought.
I'm almost positive.
No, it
It
was
was-
95.
It was 95. I'm stupid. I wrote down my
Oh,
notes
jeez.
the wrong thing. It's been
Uh,
29 years and 30 seasons. That's right. All right, so whatever.
This,
One thing.
this starting lineup is awesome for the American League. I mean, you had Randy Johnson on the mound for that.
Oh God.
You had Randy
Yeah.
throwing a Pudge.
That's
Now
awesome.
you're probably gonna.
actually.
Now you're probably gonna have Shohei. It's probably gonna be the next one. Oh.
Do you
I
guys
think-
think? Do you guys think the
Shohei throwing
Angels
to
are
his
going to
dad,
trade?
Jonah.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, do you guys think they're bluffing about keeping him for the rest of the offseason?
No,
They're-
no,
no, they're-
teams,
no,
no
they're
team
gonna-
is going to trade for him.
Well,
No,
he
they're-
is that $30 million contract, right? Some team is going to pay that when it comes down to July. I promise you. And it's,
No, they're not.
dude, think about it. You get Shohei Ohtani for
Yeah, but think about how much you
$30
have to. Think about how much you have to give up.
No one's going to
thinking-
give them.
No
You're
one's
gonna be
gonna
like,
give
hey,
up.
give us your
No
top
one-
10 prospects.
Yeah, no one's gonna give up. You're guaranteed to at least dump. Guaranteed your top 5.
But
The
he's
Atlanta
he's
Braves.
leaving. Like he's not
Yeah,
going to
he's out
re-sign
of
with
there,
the
no.
Angels, so they
that's-
have to get
yeah,
something.
that's
Like,
what I'm
he
thinking.
has the
That's-
advantage here.
That's why
All
they
they'll
only
get is a
signed him for
draft
1
pick.
year.
All they'll get is a draft pick for the compensatory pick if he leaves. But
That's,
No
That's why
team-
that's why the only reason he stays in LA is if they sell the team.
Yeah.
The only reason I could see.
they're not selling him.
They're not selling.
And well, he's fielding offers, but I don't think he's gonna.
The
sell.
next thing I want to talk about All-Star Week is all you guys obviously know what Texas Live looks like. You got the big inside area, all those tables. I think something that would really help that Rangers ballpark area is sports betting. Legalize it in Texas. Greg Abbott, I don't know what you have to do that, but legalize it, man.
It's not happening. But
I think it would help so much with
it would.
this area, and
Yeah.
they could
Yeah.
add a barstool place right here. They could add a barstool bar, sports betting lounge, whatever they want to call it. I
Well,
think
they
that
have
would
a-
insanely help that.
That place is
That-
going to be
Yeah.
That place is going to be rocking. I can't wait for that.
I love this because like I think the team or the stadium got a lot of like heat whenever they first opened because of people are seeing photos and how it looked. I don't know if you guys have been there,
Oh, yeah.
like inside, but like everyone that I've heard from, I've never been there, but everyone I've heard from that's been there says it's like very beautiful.
It's
Very
beautiful.
awesome stadium.
It's awesome.
But it got a lot of crap, and it has not been in the national spotlight yet, except for that 2020 World Series. But that was mostly TV.
And
Yeah.
So
it
it's
didn't
like-
look like itself either. They changed
No.
all the walls. They had other advertisements over our advertisements and everything. It just
Yeah.
didn't look right.
Well, it
No,
also
and the
opened
situation wasn't. Yeah,
it opened at the worst possible time
yeah.
because I mean you built a brand new,
Sorry.
brand new stadium that no one could go to.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I'll put this picture on here. And
Yeah, it's a beautiful. I've heard it's a beautiful stadium. A lot of people have enjoyed it. I've even had like Houston Astro fans have told me that like they've been there and they really really like it.
Yeah, it's
So-
awesome.
look at this. Look at this picture.
Um,
Isn't that awesome? Like,
yeah, that's similar to what like Atlanta has.
and they have all these different
There's a-
restaurants. Like they have the Cowboy Bar, Pudge's Pizza, and then there's all stuff against this wall too. Imagine
Yeah.
what it would do if there was just sports betting involved, and you added a little extra screen over here that was like, all right, here's your odds, here's everything, and even if you ran it, like Ray Davis could make bank if he opened up even his own
Yeah,
little bookie. That'd be
yeah,
hilarious.
that would definitely be something they need to do.
Yeah, they
I
did.
think that would help.
That's what they did here in Arizona because it's legal and
Yeah.
sports betting's legal. And they put in between the Sun Stadium and the Diamondback Stadium, they put like I think it's like a FanDuel, like FanDuel, like basically restaurant slash like basically sports betting. And like I think in the first year, like Arizona itself, like on sports betting, made like the fourth most like money like in like out of all the states that have legalized.
And imagine if Texas is huge. Texas has Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth. And then you get in the smaller markets that are still pretty big. College Station, Amarillo, even Waco, like these college towns. Dude, it would blow up. All right, last thing that I got to go is who do y'all think is going to be an all-star from the Rangers in 2024? My picks are Corey Seager, Brock Burke, Marcus Semien, Josh Young.
I think Nathaniel Lowe makes an all-star game before Josh Young does, probably.
Could see
But
that.
in 2024.
Oh, in
2024.
24. Okay.
Yeah, just in terms of like, I'm guessing just because the game's going to be there, right? Who represents Texas?
Ah,
Who
yes.
represents Texas? Yeah.
So it's Monday. My brain's still warming up.
I can't wait to see the jerseys they drop for this All-Star game too.
I got mine. I got 4 that are going to make it. It's going to be Jacob deGrom, Josh Young, Corey Seager, and Obambi.
Yes, I think we're gonna send Ohtani, probably Judge.
Ohtani, Judge, Trout, and
I think it's gonna be
Chris Young's gonna be an all-star. He's gonna be the all-star GM.
They're gonna do an honorary Chris Woodward all-star. Just be like, "Yeah, look where we are now."
I think we're just gonna send Jose Canseco to the All-Star game. I think he's gonna be our alumni representative.
I say we send 54 at the time. Like, who would he be? 53 or 54-year-old Pudge Rodriguez.
Jose Canseco and
let him sit behind
representative do not belong in the same sentence.
So imagine this. 2023 rolls around. The Rangers pull something out of their ass and make it to the World Series. Bochy is the American League coach for the game in Arlington.
That'd be super sick. That'd be
awesome.
So
let's spend money.
What situation do you think that Bochy is the 2023 manager of the year? What situation? If they make the playoffs?
If we win 90 games.
Yeah. I can see 90 games and success.
Yeah.
Like, if we win 90 games and we're third in the AL West, I mean, that's a great turnaround. That's a 22-game turnaround. But, I mean, it depends on how much weaponry he gets as well. Like, if he gets freaking DeGrom or, like, even Judge, who's really not in our conversation anymore. But if he gets, like, these insane players, then, like, yeah, like, obviously you turned around that team, but, like, it wasn't just you, you know. It was CY and it was the players on the field.
Yeah.
I think if you turn around any team, you're eligible for manager of the year.
Second in the West. 93 wins, second in the West.
That's a playoff spot now. So
is that your prediction?
It's my prediction right now. November 28th, before we have signed any free agents.
I'm not
trusting the man, CY. I'm trusting him with my fandom, with my heart. It's gonna get ripped out.
I say minimum. I say minimum wins 82. That's the minimum.
You think like that's your prediction? We win 82 minimum?
Yeah.
That's the
at least a minimum of 82. That's like the fucking floor. Like
that is if everybody gets hurt, the season is gone to shit. I mean,
they signed another
2014
Noah
fielder.
Yeah, basically.
I'm gonna refrain until our offseason is complete. I don't want to.
Oh, chicken. Come on.
I'm gonna refrain until game 161 to predict our record.
I love this team more than I love most things in this life. It's still the Texas Rangers, and I gotta wait until our roster is complete. I've been let down too many times, man. I'm not gonna get my hopes up yet. Give me some players, like give me some guys, give me a pitcher or two, then we'll talk.
I agree.
Well, hopefully when we talk Thursday or Friday, we'll have some exciting news to share.
Hopefully.
Yeah. When is it? By the way, before we end, when does winter meeting start again? Is it
first week in December, right?
December 2nd, December 3rd, 4th, something like that.
We're very close.
Does it start? I thought it would start. Is it a full week? How long is winter meeting?
I thought it was 3 days. I thought it was the 5th through the 7th.
When are the winter meetings?
Next week.
Chrome.
That's all I know.
Idiot.
They
Because the 2nd is a Friday, so I don't know
The
why
4th,
they do it on a
December
Friday.
4th through the 7th.
Yeah, I knew it ended
Yeah,
on the
so
7th.
that's
Very cool.
so that's what a Sunday through like a Wednesday,
Yes.
roughly. Okay, so hopefully by next Monday, Christian will have made all the trades and all the signings, and that no team would have any other chance.
Let's get it done.
Moves are
Yeah,
coming,
like-
man. Like I feel like a lot of fans think we're like grasping for straws, but like we have already preemptively
Exactly.
made moves.
Yeah,
like
I think-
things
be
are
patient.
in the works.
Be
I think they were
patient.
I think they were teased by last year, and the only reason they were teased by last year is because of the lockout.
Yeah.
And by November 28th, December 2nd, we had already signed Simeon Cedar, Gray, and Cole Conlon, right?
Look
So
how
it's
many
like-
players from the first couple weeks of last year. Like Willie Calhoun's gone, Solak's gone,
Sad.
Calhoun's gone.
But you're
I don't.
Pour
I
one
don't
out
imagine
to
they're-
Select. Pour
Colby
one out.
Allard's gone.
Colby Aller's out of here.
I love the Colby Eller slaves.
Josh Forbes is pretty much out of here.
All right. It's a good episode.
All right, boys.
Episode
Yeah,
2's
good.
done. That's it. We're done
Good deal.
talking.